Hello everyone, Vic here with another video. Today I'm comparing the Halloween franchise with the Friday 13th franchise. We're going to take every Halloween movie and compare them to their Friday 13th counterpart and see which franchise comes out on top. We have 12 rounds. So each round, I don't know who's going to win this. Honestly, I haven't really thought about this before, but let's jump into it with round one, the original Halloween versus the original Friday 13th. And to me, this is really no-brainer. I mean, you have the original Halloween, as we all know, is one of the most classic, best, greatest horror films of all time. You have Jamie Lee Curtis coming on the scene. You have Dr. Loomis. You have young 21-year-old Michael Myers. You have John Carpenter directing the hell out of this. The movie clicks on all cylinders. And then you have Friday 13th, the original, directed by Sean Cunningham, which was essentially meant to be a Halloween ripoff. They were trying to rip off the success of Halloween, which is completely understandable. But the original Friday 13th film does sort of fall short if you think about it. I mean, it's not a good whodunit. It's not an amazing slasher. It does have good effects from Tom Savini, so I'll give it that. And has one amazing jump scare at the end when little Jason jumps out the river. But overall, it doesn't really compare to the other classic films in the genre. It's not as good as the original Nightmare, not as good as the original Halloween. And also, they killed a real snake. What are you guys doing? Why are you killing a real snake in the middle of the damn movie? And also, you had a very overrated final girl. Alice, not a huge fan. Halloween, of course, you have both Dr. Loomis and Laurie Strode. So round one is a clear winner. Halloween goes up 1-0 with the original Halloween. Let's go to round two, and we're talking Friday 13th Part 2 versus Halloween 2. Now, this one is a little bit more competitive because I do like Friday 13th Part 2. In fact, I think Friday 13th Part 2 is essentially almost like a remake of the original Friday 13th, but done better. You have Steve Miner taking over the directing here. You have a better final girl, Ginny, taking over from Alice. Alice, listen, we liked you in the first movie, but I wasn't sad to see you go in the first 10 minutes of Friday 13th Part 2. So Ginny is fantastic. But Halloween 2 is pretty damn good also. I mean, Halloween 2, although not as good as the original Halloween, is still one of the better sequels in the horror genre history, I would say. You have, again, another amazing performance by Donald Pleasance. You have a Michael Myers that's different, more robotic, probably the slowest moving slasher villain in the history of horror genre also. But ultimately, I have to give Halloween 2 the nod. I think that although they're both good sequels, I think Halloween 2 goes so well with the original Halloween. I think you can watch Halloween 2 back to back and feel you just had 3 hours of amazing Halloween slasher mayhem. This is no knock on Friday 13th Part 2, which I like a lot. But Halloween 2 gets the nod here also. So now 2-0 Halloween franchise. Let's go to round 3. Friday 13th Part 3 in 3D in terrible, poorly done 3D, which doesn't hold up at all, versus Halloween 3, which moves away from Michael Myers and goes into the anthology route with killer Halloween costumes and a TV show that's can't miss TV, but you should miss it because if you watch it, your head will explode and snakes will take over your body and all this crazy stuff. But which is better, Halloween 3 versus Friday 13th Part 3? I have to be honest, I have a pretty nostalgic bias towards Friday 13th Part 3, and Halloween 3, I only sort of came aboard in the last couple of years. I was never a huge fan, but in the last couple of years, I've come to appreciate it more. Whereas Friday 13th Part 3, I grew up loving it, thinking it was one of the best Friday films, but in the last couple of years, it's actually fallen down on my list. I no longer have it as one of the best Friday 13th movies. So this one is tricky also, but I'm just going to go with my gut instinct here and say Halloween 3 is a better movie than Friday 13th Part 3. Friday 13th Part 3, I can't help but think that Vera and Shelley should have been the main final guy, final girl, especially Vera should have been the final girl. I can't help but think that we don't like, really, there's some forgettable characters in Halloween or Friday 13th Part 3, and I think Halloween 3 actually does give you better characters, better writing, a better story, a more memorable score, even though Friday 13th Part 3 has that amazing disco music in the opening credits. So yeah, I'm going to go Halloween 3, which amazingly puts Halloween up 3-0 so far, 3-0 in the matchup so far. Now, let's go to round 4, and this is actually going to be the most difficult one. Halloween 4 versus Friday 13th Part 4, the final chapter. I'm so conflicted here because Friday 13th Part 4 is really, honestly, one of the best slasher films of the 80s, I would say. Halloween 4 is good. It's my favorite sequel in the Halloween franchise. but is it a better made movie than Final Chapter? Can I put my bias to the side and actually give an honest take on this? Well, listen, this is my take on the franchise, so it is gonna have my bias built in. So man, damn, I mean, Jason's so fantastic, Final Chapter, and in Halloween 4 we have that stupid mask bringing down an otherwise an amazing sequel. Man, where do we go with this one? This is gonna be probably this might be the hardest round to decide in the entire damn thing. I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna take some heat from this. I'm gonna probably get some pushback here, but I'm gonna go with Halloween 4 over Final Chapter. But this one is like neck and neck. This one is a photo finish because these are both amazing, amazing sequels. Some people have Final Chapter as the best sequel in the Friday the 13th franchise, which is more than justifiable. And I and a few select minority amount of people have Halloween 4 as the best sequel in the Halloween franchise. I'm going to go with Halloween 4, which puts Halloween up 4-0 now so far. 4-0 Halloween. The first 4 Halloween movies being ranked above the first 4 Friday 13th movies. Wow, it's going to take a hell of a comeback from Jason to make this competitive. Let's move on to round 5. Halloween 5 versus Friday 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. Well, in recent years, what I've seen online, on Reddit, on Facebook, in different discussion boards, different YouTube videos, I've seen this uprising of support for Friday 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. And no, I have not jumped on the bandwagon. I still think it's a poorly done, half porn, half slasher, mediocre sequel that doesn't even make any sense because Roy Burns, the main person he should be targeting here, is freaking Victor, who goes to jail and is never seen again. Who wrote the script that you don't have Roy have a revenge scene on Victor, the dude that actually killed his son? What the hell, man? Can we at least get that? Tommy Jarvis in Part 5 I find to be a mediocre hero, silent for most of the movie, has John Wick randomly can fight better than Jason Bourne and John Wick put together, but then at the end, when exposed to Jason right in front of him, freezes up and lets Jason stab him. What the hell, man? Now, that's not to say that Halloween 5 doesn't have its own problems. I mean, the writing in Halloween 5 is pretty bad. You have a long neck Michael Myers with that long stupid neck, that long mask, but you still have a fantastic performance from Donald Pleasance. And I've come personally to appreciate Halloween 5 a lot more in the last couple years. The same way that some people are like getting on the Friday 13th Part 5 bandwagon, I've gotten on the Halloween 5 bandwagon. So maybe against my better judgment, I'm going to solidly put my support here in the corner of Halloween 5. So that's right, Halloween 5, giving Halloween the franchise a 5-0 advantage in this matchup so far. 5-0. I have the first 5 Halloween movies being better than the first 5 Friday 13th movies. Yes, maybe I might need to get my head checked on some of these picks, but I'm going by gut instincts here on these picks. I haven't planned this out ahead at all. I'm just going with what comes to mind, and I think Halloween 5, in my opinion, is slightly better than A New Beginning. Now, let's go to round 6, I should say, which is Halloween 6 versus Jason Lives. Now, some of you may know, I'm also a pretty big supporter. Like Halloween 4, I'm a big supporter of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I think it has the best atmosphere. I think it has a great Michael Myers. I think it has great main characters. Kara's very underrated. Paul Rudd, in one of his first acting performances, I think does a solid job as Tommy Doyle. Donald Pleasance, although not as spry and energetic, still gives us a small sprinkling of the Dr. Loomis that we know and love. So I'm a huge fan of Halloween 6. But I think Jason's about to get his first victory in the franchise because Jason Lives is my favorite sequel in the Friday 13th franchise and unquestionably is a much better, well-made movie than Halloween 6. Better script, better acting, better characters, a more consistent tone. Tom McLaughlin, of course, did a great job with Jason Lives. So this one is like a no-brainer to me. I'm going to go Jason Lives. Pretty easily clears Halloween 6. Halloween 6 fans, yes. I mean, I'm a big Halloween 6 fan. I watch it every October, every Halloween. But Jason Lives, I think, is just clearly a much better, well-made movie. You don't need a producer's cut to put the pieces together. The story with Halloween 6, too much of a mess. I'm going Jason Lives here, which gives Friday 13th its first victory, 6-1. 5-1. 5-1 in favor of Halloween so far. And again, We're gonna have 12 rounds here, so there's still potential for Jason to come back, but it's gonna have to be damn near a clean sweep going forward. And that brings us to our next round, round 7, which is gonna be Friday 13th, A New Blood versus Halloween H2O. Now, look, A New Blood is a fairly popular sequel. You have basically Carrie versus Jason. You have a great makeup for Jason in part 7. I mean, seeing the damn skeleton on his back, the makeup effects for part 7 are probably the best in the series, in all honesty. Jason looks amazing. Kane Hodder, his first portrayal as Jason, does an amazing job. Um, Pretty good final girl with Tina. And you have mostly forgettable characters. I think Melissa is a great human villain. Dr. Cruz is a pretty good human villain, but not much there in terms of the characters. Pretty good kills, but this movie, of course, was destroyed by the MPAA, so we didn't get the true, fully realized version of New Blood that we should have gotten. But you have a really stupid ending here with A New Blood. Tina's ghostly father coming up to save the day makes no damn sense. Why the hell is his body in the water? Why is his body not decomposed? Is it a ghost? Is it a figment of Tina's imagination? If it's a real body, then in the aftermath, like, why the hell is his body still down there? Who didn't? What stupid, terrible hospital ambulance didn't pick up his body from the river when he first died? So this makes no sense. It's too incoherent. This ending with Ghost Dad coming to save the day. On the other hand, Halloween H2O. Some people call it a Scream sequel, which is like so overblown just because it has the girl from Dawson's Creek, Michelle Williams, just because you have a young Josh Hartnett, just because you use the same music as Scream. Well, holy shit. Maybe I just convinced myself. Maybe it is the damn Scream sequel. So, okay, let's say it's a Scream sequel. That's fine. I like all those movies from back then. I like the original I Know You Did Last Summer. I like Urban Legend, The Faculty. I'm a fan of the Scream ripoff sequels, whatever you want to call it, that came out after Scream. And to me, it's the best portrayal of Laurie Strode. It's the most realistic version of her 20 years later, dealing with her trauma, having a strained relationship with her son because of the trauma. And then the last 20 minutes of H2O, the last 20 minutes of New Blood is fantastic. When Tina starts taking on Jason, and Jason finally meets somebody who can really match up to him through special powers, beats the shit out of Jason. So that's a good 20 minutes too outside of Ghost Dad. But when Laurie Strode locks the gate and crushes the lock and starts saying, "Michael!" grabs the axe and goes hunting for Michael Myers, you get a fantastic 15-minute duel between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, and you get a great definitive ending, which should have been maybe the definitive ending to the franchise, of her chopping off Michael Myers' head, cut to the Halloween score as the credits play. You really can't get a better ending than Halloween H2O. So Halloween H2O is taking the victory here. New Blood, a decent sequel, but it's not my favorite sequel. H2O, one of the better sequels in the Halloween franchise. That makes it 6-1. 6-1 through the first 7 movies. Halloween so far is kicking Friday 13th's ass, which you've seen my Jason vs. Michael video probably, and I do think in most versions of Jason beats the shit out of Michael Myers. But so far, the Halloween franchise is getting that W. But now things might get a little bit dicey as we move further, deeper in the franchise. Which franchise was able to keep the momentum going, keep getting better, or just maintain a certain amount of consistency? And now we go to round 8. Jason, 2 polarizing sequels. Jason Takes Manhattan versus Halloween Resurrection. We got The Boat, Jason on a Cruise versus Dangertainment. Who comes out the victor here? Well, these are 2 sequels that are considered bad by most fans of both franchises. Consider these both to be a bad sequel. Resurrection, I mean, you got a solid opening with Jamie Lee Curtis taking the dive, didn't want to come back, came back for 10 minutes to be killed off, and then you get mostly terrible characters in a house. You have a plot line of reality show, maybe ahead of its time, but sort of poorly done within this movie. So cardboard cutout characters, unlikable final girl. Fun deaths? Not really. A fun Michael Myers? Not really. I hate to say it, the only fun thing about Resurrection probably is Busta Rhymes. I know that it takes a lot of heat because he kicks Michael Myers' ass, and Michael Myers, for some reason, just walks away when he has a chance to kill Busta. But that's probably I kind of agree with the test screenings when they did the movie came back saying we want more Busta, and I understand because the rest of the movie is so damn bland. Busta Rhymes like colors the movie with something entertaining, so you need more Busta here. So some people have Busta versus Michael as a embarrassing moment in the franchise. No, it's embarrassing for Michael. The character Michael should not be getting beat up by Kung Fu Freddy, but it's a fun part of the movie. On the other hand, Jason Takes Manhattan has been lambasted for years because people can't get over the idea that it's false advertising. It's called Jason Takes Manhattan, but 70% of the movie takes place on a boat. People can't get past that, and I just got to a point where I got past that. Some people, that just ruins the movie for them, but for me on rewatches, I accept that Jason's on a boat. I accept that even when he gets to Manhattan, he's mostly in Vancouver, Canada, because they don't have the budget to film in Manhattan with this type of sequel. But listen, I have fun with Jason Takes Manhattan. I have fun with it. I have fun with the rooftop battle with Julius. Arguably, what Jason did to Julius is what Michael should have done to Freddy. One punch knocked the head off. But I have fun with the entire last 20 minutes of Jason Takes Manhattan. Yes, Jason turning into Muppet Jason in the sewer and then turning into little kid Jason was just as stupid as the ghost ad ending from part 7. Just as stupid. But I think I have more fun with Jason Takes Manhattan than I do with Halloween Resurrection. So I'm going Jason Takes Manhattan. I think if you line them up, both considered bad movies, watch them back to back, I think the average Joe Schmo, and me specifically, will have more fun with Jason Takes Manhattan. Much more rewatchability. I even like the characters more in Jason Takes Manhattan for the most part. Jason, with the win here in round 8, we're now 6-2. Michael versus Jason, Halloween up 6-2. As we move on to round 9. Now, this one's going to be interesting. We have Jason Goes to Hell versus Rob Zombie's Halloween. Now, this one's where I'm going to get a lot of pushback on this one. This one is going to be very unpopular. But, gun to my head, I'd rather rewatch Jason Goes to Hell than Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's something against Rob Zombie. I know some people love the direction he takes here. You got 75 cuss words in the first 5 minutes of this new Rob Zombie's Halloween. You got kind of a vulgar background, generic bully background, generic serial killer background from Michael Myers. You know, the personification of evil was given just a typical background that serial killers have. They were bullied as a kid. Terrible family upbringing, a lot of trauma there, causes Michael to go insane and kill everybody. But I just don't click with Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's just not for me. I appreciate that it's a pretty well-made movie. If you separate from the Halloween franchise, maybe it's a pretty good movie. But the way people say that about Rob Zombie's Halloween, I kind of feel that way about Jason Goes to Hell. Jason Goes to Hell, I think, is a solidly made movie, honestly. I have to say. It has strong characters. The body switching story it's not what you want out of a Friday 13th film, per se. But I can rewatch and have fun with it. I mean, I don't know. I like Creighton Duke more than anybody I like in Rob Zombie's Halloween. And I think Jason Goes to Hell is strong main characters. I think the opening 10 minutes of Jason Goes to Hell is one of the best openings in the Friday 13th franchise. Everything from, the setup for the FBI to Jason getting shot to shit to the corner eating Jason's heart. It's all good, all fun stuff. So I find Jason Goes to Hell to be slightly underrated. Yes, there's some stupid things for sure. Jason's not a Deadite. The Necronomicon has been taken way out of context, way out of hand. It was just a prop that was put there for fun. It's not meant to explain Jason's origin. People who run with that need to calm down, take a deep breath. There's nothing about Jason that characteristically of a Deadite that Jason fulfills. But this is kind of an underdog victory here. Round 9, I'm going with Jason Goes to Hell over Halloween or Rob Zombie's Halloween. And that's going to kind of inform round 10. Round 10, by the way, I believe that puts Jason now at, where are we at now? Okay, so that's 6-3 now. Wow, 6-3, okay. So heading to round 10, 6-3 in favor of Halloween. Can Jason make a comeback? He's on the way because round 10 is going to be informed by what I just said in round 9. We have Jason X versus Rob Zombie's Halloween Part 2. Now, again, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, it's one of those movies that you either love it or you don't get it. I guess if you get it, you love it and defend it to the day it dies. I hate to say it, guys. I just think I don't get it. I understand that, there's a lot of artistic things going on, a lot of deeper messages going on in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but for me, it just goes off the rails. But I respect that it has a fan base. Meanwhile, Jason X is probably one of the most fun movies to watch with a group you can possibly find. It's Jason in space, and for me, unlike other people, I don't mind when horror villains go to space. I like Leprechaun in space. I like Jason X. Yes, it's stupid, it makes no sense, but Jason X is pure fun. And when Jason kills the one girl by, freezing her face and smashing against the table, it might be the best death in the entire Friday the 13th franchise. So for round 10, I gotta say, I'm gonna go Jason X over Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. These last two rounds, I understand if you're a fan of the Rob Zombie movies, you're like, man, what the hell? Come on, Vic, give Rob Zombie's Halloween's a break. I'm not saying they're terrible movies. For me, I've never really gotten on board with them. I like Jason Goes to Hell. I like Jason X. So that puts us at, 6-4 now. So Jason, the man, the mask, slowly making a comeback here, 6-4. But can he keep the momentum going into round 11? And round 11 is going to be very interesting because we have Freddy versus Jason versus Halloween 2018. Wow, this one is actually pretty tough. Halloween 2018, in hindsight, I was disappointed on the initial watch in theaters. The initial watch at home, I was disappointed. But I've come to respect what they were doing with it as I've watched it more. I do think it's a well-made movie. Yes, certain things don't make sense. I hate the whole Sartain thing. I think there's misplaced comedy. I don't like, the one likable character who gets killed in the movie. I don't like that Julie and the little kid is like making comedic moments during her death scene. To me, that's like an uneven tone. Like, you can have a horror comedy where you have both things clicking at the same time, but within the scene when there's supposed to be tension, you don't want comedy to be in conflict with that tension. And they do that a little bit too much in Halloween 2018. Great climax, though, in Halloween 2018, for sure. Everything with Michael and Laurie Strode in the house, and Jamie Lee Curtis does an amazing job there. But the last 45 minutes of Freddy vs. Jason, once Jason gets hit with those tranquilizers, we enter into Freddy's dream world. That last 40 minutes is probably maybe some of the best stuff in the entire Friday the 13th franchise. I mean, now some of this is because I'm a huge Freddy fan also, so just seeing Freddy and Jason go at it will never not be fun for me to watch. But I think it was actually executed amazing. I mean, their fight scene goes hard for about a half an hour. Carnage candy, it's amazing. It's just fun stuff to watch. Yes, it has the worst final girl and final guy. Will and Laurie are my most hated final couple in the history of horror movies. I just hate them. I just want them erased from the movie. But which one do I find has more rewatchability? Which one do I actually like more? This may catch some heat as well, but hey, it's just my opinion. I would, if you had to erase one of them, I would erase Halloween 2018 and keep Freddy vs. Jason. Yeah, that's right. I feel like Halloween 2018 isn't as crucial or needed as much as Freddy vs. Jason. And I think Freddy vs. Jason, the last 40 minutes, I think are stronger than anything in Halloween 2018. Wow. Okay, well, that puts us at now, 6-5. So Jason really has made a damn comeback here. This is amazing. Okay, 6-5 in favor of Halloween. Now, how are we going to do this last round, round 12? Because there's 2 remaining Halloween movies and there's 1 remaining Jason movie. So we're just going to have to kind of make it work. We're going to do round 12. It's Friday 13th, 2009, the reboot, going head-to-head with both Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. So we're going to pretend Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends is one entity versus Friday 13th, 2009. Man. Well, listen. I've made videos about Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Halloween Kills is a mixed bag. There's some good there, but everything with the mob is just completely stupid. It feels out of place. Feels like a completely different movie. Poorly done, poorly executed. Laurie Strode again confined to the hospital. Poorly executed. Hawkins being alive from part 1 when really he got ran over. There's no reason he should be alive here. And then I found that people overrate the flashback sequence at the beginning of Halloween Kills. It's okay, but no, it doesn't really seem like the Michael from part one to me. The way he acts in the house, I don't know. And then Michael surrendering himself, even the Loomis thing, it's a great impersonation, but Loomis screaming, Hawkins, did Michael kill again? It just actually doesn't seem like Loomis per se. So Halloween Kills is a mixed bag. It does have great kills, some good death scenes. But and the Tommy Doyle in Halloween Kills, I think, is probably one of the worst legacy characters, returning characters they've ever done. Nurse Miriam is wasted here in Halloween Kills. And then Halloween Ends. I mean, listen, if you want to deep dive on those two, watch my two videos on those two movies. Halloween Ends just feels like they didn't know what they were doing in terms of the direction of the trilogy. It's a poor end to a trilogy. It doesn't build on Halloween or Halloween Kills. The Corey storyline, I like Corey actually, but that whole thing's abandoned completely for an out of place, final, heavily advertised Laurie versus Michael matchup at the end, which really just does nothing for me. So Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends combined are probably combined, I would say, even all the good from both of them combined, still kind of mediocre. On the other hand, Friday the 13th, 2009 is one of the better reboot remakes that Platinum Doom, certainly. I mean, they followed this up with the horrible Nightmare remake. But man, it feels like a Friday film. They get it right. They got characters in the woods. Jason, a badass Jason played by Derek Mears. Amazing kills. Fun, pretty fun characters for the most part. Okay, yeah, they're pretty unmemorable for the most part as well, but you had a good human villain there for sure, a fun human villain. Man, if I had to, this again, when it's this close, again, I have to say, like, if I had to erase one entity out of existence versus the other, which one would I erase? I think I'm going to have to side with Friday 13th, 2009. I'll be honest. I think that, again, gun to my head, if I had to rewatch either Friday 13th, 29 or I had to do a double header of Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, I'm watching Friday 13th, 2009. Holy cow. That means Jason, the Friday 13th franchise, has tied Halloween, in my opinion now, at 6-6. What the hell, man? I did not see this coming. I actually, to be honest, before I sat down to do this, I actually thought that Friday 13th would come out ahead of Halloween. Because the thing with both franchises is that, I guess the cliche thinking is that the original Halloween is so much better than any Friday 13th film, but then when you go down the sequels, the Friday 13th sequels are more fun and better. And I don't think that's the case. So this actually may be a compliment in favor of Halloween because the first movie is the best movie in either franchise. But I think actually there's enough good Halloween sequels to get it to where it's even with the Friday the 13th franchise. But damn, 6-6. I did not see that coming. Now, caveat on this whole thing. When Friday the 13th does another movie, then the 13th round basically becomes Halloween Ends versus that 13th movie. And in that 13th round, to be completely honest, if they do a decent job with the Friday the 13th sequel, it's probably going to beat Halloween Ends, and the final score will end up being 7-6. But then we'll see if they become out the new Halloween movie and how that stacks up. But for now, amazingly, I have them even dead to rights, dead head-to-head, 6-6. What are your thoughts on the Halloween franchise versus Friday the 13th franchise? Are there any rounds here I went over, any rounds that you completely disagree with? Give me your takes, give me your opinions in the comments. And also, of course, as always, please like the video, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe because every subscriber, every thumbs up, every like helps us get more exposure to the channel, helps us grow, helps us get to a better place on the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we appreciate all the support. Until next time, you guys take care.